Hello, Echo here again. Welcome to episode 32 of my Feed the Beast Ultimate Beginner's Guide. Now, I've got a couple of plans for this episode. One of them is, we've made a Zycraft tank before. I think it's time we made a Railcraft tank. That's going to be for our liquid boiler down here. So, we're going to make a Railcraft tank, and if we look in the eye, you can see the bits there. There's iron tank walls, iron tank valves, which take some of the iron plates, iron bars and leather, and iron tank gauges, which are iron plates and glass. So basically we need a lot of iron plates. So first of all, I'm going to get a couple of stacks of iron and put them through the plate bending machine. So probably going to be too much here, but it's alright, we'll use them at some point. We can make tanks for other stuff if we want to. So I'm going to use 2 stacks of iron there, make loads of iron plates. And while that's on the go, something else I'm going to start with this episode. I don't know how far we're going to get, but I've used a lot of my quartz. So you see I've got 36 quartz dust left. I've got 42 crystals. I've made another of the storage blocks that goes into the 16k storage, so we could get a third 16k, but I don't know whether to hold on and make our first 64. So I'm just leaving that in there for now. And I made a stack of 64 ME cable. So we've got 66 ME cable, so we can start connecting everything together. So we want all these machines connecting. We pretty much want everything connecting, to be honest. We want all this storage connecting. I'm not sure about this bit yet, but these things certainly we want to be in the ME network. So I'm going to get on with that once we've got this tank made. And obviously once we've got the tank made, we can start fueling this up. Another thing I'm thinking of doing, but I've never done before, so I might have to do off camera, see if it works. We've got 3,500 apples here. Now, if we look what apples can go into, they can, through an industrial centrifuge, they can be embedded into methane cells. And methane cells, each one of them, in a gas turbine can make 45,000 EU. So that's every half a stack of apples, it's 45,000 EU. So I might make all these apples into EU using a combination of an industrial centrifuge and that other machine that I just forgot the name of. Well, I'm not sure yet. So, but first of all, obviously, let's get a tank made for our biofuel. So how's this going? 44. Let's see. What will 44 get us? Right. So let's work this out. Each one needs 9 for the base, and then 9 for the top, and then I'm going to do a 3x3 I'm going to do it the same size as the boiler. So so I want another 3 there, 3 there, 3 there, and 3 there. Is that right? And then we're going to want glass and valves for the rest. So I think that's enough blocks. So the rest we'll make some valves and some of the gauges, and we'll see how it goes. So let's see where this is going to go. Now I was thinking of, I'd like to put it here, but I'm going to have to move the stairs if I do. So actually, I don't have to move the stairs, I have to move that balcony bit. So the balcony bit's not needed at all, really. So let's have it here. Okay, let's get all these into one stack again then. Easiest way of doing that. I reckon. And let's make this thing here. So 1, 2, 3. I normally put these into the floor, but I'm not going to bother this time. So the valve's going to be one up from the base. I normally sink these into the deck a bit, but just because I want it to fit in here. So I'm going to do it like this time. So basically make an outside box. Now the difference between these and the Zycraft tanks is your Zycraft tank only counts the gap in the middle. So once this has got walls, then a Zycraft tank, even this size, would only count 1, 2, 3 middle, the 3 centre blocks where there'll be air. So it's 16, 32, 48 buckets worth. Whereas the Zycraft tank counts all the blocks. So it's 9, 18, 27, 36, 45 times 16. So you get, for a small tank, you get a lot more out of out of a railcraft tank than a Zycraft tank. For a Zycraft tank, you get a lot more of a bigger tank. So it's there's benefits to using both. So what size is this tank? So the actual the internal bit, I think, is 4x4x4. But if this was a railcraft tank, all these blocks would count towards the volume as well. So it's, yeah, the both got uses. It's worth noting as well, in 1.5 version of railcraft, these are iron plates. Obviously, there's also steel plates, and steel plates double the capacity. So instead of 16 buckets per block, it's 32 buckets per block. So you'll be able to make a tank a tank the size we're making there. It'd have a lot more than that, double the capacity. So that's worth considering as well. What do we need now? We need some glass. I don't think that's enough. Let's get some more glass and some iron bars we needed, didn't we? We've got a few of them in there. We'll see how many of these we need, and a couple. Right, that just makes one. No, that makes 4 of them. That's good. So we just need one set of that. So let's get us a lever out of our tool bag. Oops. Lever. There we go. So how did we do this then? It was lever in the middle. I believe it was 4 of them like so, and 4 of them like so. There we go. There's 4 valves, and then we want some glass. How was the glass? Oops, not that one. There we go. So same shape. Okay, 4 of them, and then we need some glass first, don't we? Let's have a nice stack of glass, like so. So was it 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and let's work out how many we need. So I'm going to have how should we do this? I have a valve there, I have a valve there, and do you want a valve there? I don't know if the valve there will work, because I'll try and connect to both if we want it to feed out. So 2 gaps between these is a bit better than 1 gap really. But so we'll have the valve on the front, valve on the side, and let's save these other 2 valves for another tank. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need at least 10 of these. So 4, 8, 12 will do. As you can see, I've made plenty of extra stuff for more tanks in the future. And then all you need to do is build up the sides of this thing. Once it's all fully enclosed, you'll see that the windows have become separate, like connected blocks, and this is now a tank that holds 720 buckets worth. So that's 9, 18, 27, 45 times 16 must be 720. I'm not going to do the maths. As you can see, this tank here has got a bit more in, I think. This has got 1024 capacity, so this is a bigger tank, but obviously it's because it's a bigger tank. Right, so what do we need now? We need some liquid ducts. Have we got liquid ducts? Not enough, I don't think, which is a shame. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run some liquid ducts from this thing just to empty all this out, just because it's there. Then I'm going to probably move this to somewhere a bit better, possibly there, and work out how we're going to get all this organic stuff into here, and then out of this tank is going to be a path like so into there. That's the reason why I say it the way I had it. If I'd have had the valve there, it'd have connected to there and to here. So we don't want it, because we have to have this with the arrow like that. That means it wouldn't have gone in properly. So I've just done it a bit separate. I've just done it. Makes it a bit messy, to be honest, but I don't mind. It'll do. It will do. Now these tanks, by the way, they store the data. As far as I know, basically store the data in that block there. So you could break the side. If this had liquid in, you could break the side. As long as you don't break the center block on the base of it, then it shouldn't be a problem, as far as I understand it. Yeah, so right, I'm going to break the camera. I'm going to make some more liquid ducts, because I clearly ain't got enough. And I'm going to work out how to get the liquid out of this thing into that tank. We're not going to actually need these just yet, because we don't want to put anything into it until we've got a tank's worth. Now, as you can see, this... Oops, not put the glass back. Let's put the glass back. There we go. So this holds 720 buckets, and as you can see from there, with biofuel, we need 697 buckets. So we need this to be full, really, before we start heating this up, just so we make sure we've got enough to actually do the heat process. So yeah, I'll be back in a bit with some more liquid ducts and a little bit of working out where things are going to go. Okay, so I'm back. I just made some liquid ducts, and the thing with liquid ducts is it comes straight out there without having to have a valve on it, which is nice. And once you've got a liquid duct with liquid in, it won't connect to another one until you wrench it. So I have to wrench that now to make that go. Wrench the face like so, and that'll then connect that. And all I'm going to do now at the minute, I want to see how much all this produces, because I've not actually used this bio thing before. This bioreactor was only introduced in the 1.0.1 version of Ultimate. No, 0.2. So if you're on 1.0.1, then this won't be in, and you're probably better off using the forestry fermenter and stuff. But as this isn't going forward from that, I'll be using this one. So I've never used this before myself, so I might get a couple of things wrong here. But as for a start, I just wanted to connect it to there and fill this tank up. So there you go. So it's filling up, and let's see how quick this is producing stuff. So it's not. Okay. Why you not produce? What's going on here then? Something there it can't handle? So this is the kind of thing that I mean, but we're not sure things work. So that's four buckets worth. So that's exactly what was in there. So something in right here. Does this need to be wrenched and powered? Well, no, because that should fill up again. So something's definitely wrong. Why you no work? So I'm bringing the efficiency right down there, but it's not doing anything. Why are you doing it? I'm a dickhead. Look at that, I didn't even see that on the back. Let's try again. Let's put all these back. What's that? Mushrooms. They're all organic yet. Okay, let's try that again with that valve not on. And let's put that back how it should be. There we go. So that's going through stuff pretty quick, as you can see there, I think. And this is at max efficiency, so because we've got all this fed into it, so the key when you're making one of these is at some point we want to organise this so it's putting items in like this, so we're getting max efficiency. So efficiency is how much MB of fuel we're getting. So let's say it's gone down quite a bit now because we ran out of the little stacks of stuff. That's how much biofuel we're getting per tick, I believe. So when you've only got one item in there, you don't get much at all. So eventually we're going to set some kind of regulator kind of setup so that it's getting the right amount of materials in here to keep this going. So I mean, we could make mushroom farms. We've got rubber saplings. We've got melon seeds, flax seeds. We've got all these things in good amounts. Then we haven't. But the key is to try and make it as efficient as possible. But that said, I think we'll probably get enough fuel even if we just had one thing in there. Even if we was just using these oak saplings, I think that would produce fuel quick enough to power this, to keep this guy running. So it's 36 buckets worth an hour is what we'd need. So I think that'll do it fine. So I'm going to cut the camera, let this fill up, and then work out where we're going to put this thing. I'm probably just going to put it there, and I might even feed it via tesseracts. I'm not sure yet. Or I could just feed it via the ME network actually. Yeah, ME network's probably the best way of doing it. So back in a bit. So here we are again. I've started to connect the ME network up. So I put a LAN just up there, and I'm not connecting anything yet, but this is going to be the main LAN to connect all the machinery, and it can go up to the next floor and attach to the other grid tech stuff we'll eventually put up here. But for now, I'll just put it up to there. Down here, what I decided to do is I'm going to move these things, these 3 deep storage. I'm going to keep these deep storage units. I contemplated putting them into another cell, so that 16K cell that was in there, or the bits for it, I've actually made into a 16K cell, and there it is. And I'm going to call this one organic, and put a few things in here. Well, I was going to put oak saplings in there as well, but I think I'm going to keep for now. I'm going to keep them in the deep storage unit. We can get other organic stuff out of it. What else have we got? It's organic. Well, we can leave that for now. We can always take that cell back out later. So let's call it organic. So at the minute, that can only... Oh, that's the wrong bloody thing. Organic format. So that's now formatted as organic, and it can fit them things in. So basically, what we can get rid of is these down here. Should I put them in there as well? I think I should. Let's put them in there as well. And screw it, we can go in there as well. So I might as well add that while we're doing it. So let's just put that back in there. And add rubber wood, rubber wheat, click format again. That'll have added them to the mix there, if you will. So now we can stick that into our ME drive up there. So now we've got another thing in there, and these will, because of where I put the cell there, if I start putting things in, they'll go after the ingots, but before anything else. So if you watch when I put these in, they're going to go straight after the ingots there. So we can at some point get all that stuff into storage. What we want to do with this is, now the reason why I'm keeping these 3 things, what we can do is we can create things called storage buses, which I have shown you before. We had one on a little organics chest down here. Well, I've got rid of that organics chest. I put all the stuff that was in there into here using, I actually used a storage bus on the side of there and just put the bits in there so it pulled them out of the tank. But I don't want to do that one. I want to put an actual proper export bus on there. So what I'm going to do is we'll change around this little setup here. So the easiest way of doing that, I'll break 1, 2, and I'll break them 2 for a second. What I'm going to do is these storage buses, I'm going to go there, there, and there. Seems a bit weird, but it's going to make sense in a minute, I promise you. I'm going to need a little bit of gold pipe, should I say, which we should have some up here. Need gold pipe yet? 2, that's exactly what we need. Excellent. So I have a gold pipe there and there, and then this pipe here. So I should really turn the Steve's Cart tree farm off just for a sec, but it's not going to be a big deal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break these 3. The things will fall on the floor for a second if anything comes through. That's no big deal. And I want which ones does it say which is in which? Oaks, apples, wood. I don't matter really. Oaks, apples and wood. There we go. And that guy can go in the middle there. We'll need one of each of these things, and we're gonna. I think we want the in from the bottom. No, we don't. We want the in from the west. Because these guys, we're gonna wrench them so they connect to there, like so. Now, I think that's how these work. I need to double check, but I think these work that if you connect the inside to the storage bus will act as the in or the out. So we'll see in a second. I just need to make sure that's the case. I don't know if it has to be set as in or out, because obviously, because it's a storage bus, it'll be doing both the in and the out. So it's a little bit different than what we've done before, and I want one of them. So blue is going to be wood, white is going to be apple, and red is going to be sapling. There we go. And now we can put this guy back there. He connects the same as he did before. Wood and receive only. So the same as it went before. That should start putting stuff back into them. So hopefully at some point we'll see that in action. Just to make sure I've done that right. Now what we've got is we haven't got anything going into this thing, but we can change all this around a little bit now. Got enough wood to keep going for a good while, so we're not in a massive rush. So I can change where this is, can connect it up a different way, and we can use export bus into that, which will pull things from this. So the way we see if that's working, if we're looking here now, we should see, there we go, look, 20,000 saplings, 42,000 wood, 3,500 apples. They're all in the network now, which is good. And if we start putting this stuff in, some of this stuff is now in that ME drive. Needs to work out the priorities a little bit. Yeah, that's good. So we've got all our woods in there. That's good. The only thing we need to determine is to make sure that our tree farm's actually feeding into there still. Just make sure we haven't broken anything. I think it's all alright. I'm just going to run up here. See if there's anything on the floor, because there might have been, because we was hello, we was disconnected for a little while. So there's wood going in there. So let's just get back real quick, make sure there's wood coming in. So the other end, I'm fairly confident it'll be fine. We just want to make sure. Okay, so that ain't working. So, okay, of course, I want the in from the bottom. There we go, idiot. In bottom. In from the bottom. Okay, now that's going in alright, as you can see. And I'm pretty sure we can take in or out from the bus there. So, for example, if we take out a good lot of wood, and then we put all this back in, the wood shouldn't be in there, and it's not, so the wood's gone back into its right place. So that's all good. So there we go, we've got a little, so this is still working the same as it was before, and it's now connected to the ME network as well. And you see, you can use your buses in place of pipes, so we don't actually have to have a pipe and then a bus. The pipe is now the bus as well, which is pretty cool. So the next step would be to put an export bus on here. Now I mentioned it before. Now just to make sure when the remember what's going on here then. So there's 3 types of buses. We mentioned these a few episodes back, but we haven't mentioned them for a while, so I'll just go over it again. And they can go in there for now. Can go in there. So 3 types of buses. We've got the export bus that takes things out of our network, import bus that puts things in, and then the storage bus that allows chests to be part of the network. In this case we're using deep storage units. Every one of them takes an ME interface. ME interface takes a conversion matrix. Conversion matrix takes a bit of quartz and a bit of quartz dust that you send into one of them. So I made 16 interfaces, of which we've used 2. Remember we had 1 storage bus, and I made 2 of there for them 3. So I made 16 interfaces. So now we can use them to make export or import buses as we need to. And we've got 1 of each, I think. Import bus, there we go, export bus. But, we need another export bus in a minute. So, export bus. All these need pistons. I think it's time we made a stack of pistons. So let's do that. Let's get a bit more wood there. Like so. And there's 4 stacks of cobble. He's down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So eventually every single thing will be on this same network. We've got a stack of pistons, they'll come in handy. And We want another export bus, so let's look at the recipe for that. Normal piston, 2 iron ingots. Excellent. So all we need is 2 iron ingots, bit of our cable, one of our ME interfaces, 2 iron ingots, there we go. So now we've got 2 export buses. First one is going to go on there, like so. And now we can determine what we want to put into here. And we can select to move stacks at a time. So for example, if I want to feed oak saplings into the bio thing here. Now, like I said, we want to set this up better one day. That's going to fill that up, look. That's going to keep that full. Eventually one day we want to set this so it can take more than one thing. But for now, I'm just going to use that because it's not going to do us any harm long term. I'm just going to go through that pretty quick. I want to see how full this gets us. And I want to see if this one is at temp. I want to see if there's enough saplings to run max 36 an hour. Probably isn't. At some point we'll have to do something a bit fancier here to get more than one thing into this. But for now, that's okay. We could put a bus on each side. Nah. We need to regulate it somehow. But I need to work that out another time. But there's one thing we need to get a bus on. That's that sorted. And now we can start changing this around. We want wood to go into the sawmill there. To keep that full. But that needs a bit of working out. So I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm probably going to change this full thing around. So I'll do that off camera and then I'll see how long the episode is. And I'll be back in a bit with this either done, or if the episode's long, I'll do it between episodes and show you next episode. Back in a sec. Okay, so I've tidied it up a little bit. I've added a line off there, down export bus, onto the sawmill here. So we're getting wood back in there. You see, it was about 20 minutes I was down. Something strange happened when I removed the BC producer. It got destroyed, so I had to make a fresh one. Don't know why that was, but maybe it got destroyed or it just bounced somewhere where I couldn't find it, but it looked like it got destroyed, even though I used my power tool, which is a diamond pick. So, don't know why it got destroyed. Move things around a little bit here, move the consumer up a little bit, just change my wiring around just a little bit there, but it's all still doing the same thing. We've got power down to the sawmill and the furnace down here. I'm going to move this around still a bit more once I get a bit more sorted, I think, but I think putting that so it just feeds straight into there is still a good idea. Yeah, so I don't need that much. I mean, I don't even need that much wood to be honest, but that's all good I think. And our power there is still full, so all the things we've got running off this, I mean, not everything's 10 on the minute, but we're not draining it, we're not pulling everything from that yet out anyway, so that's good. We could do a similar setup on this side with a consumer and energy bridge and a producer, get that connected into this line possibly somehow, and we'll have loads of power then. This is filling up nicely. We've used about 3,000 of the wood that was in there to fill this up. I worked out, so if this is just taking 80 millibuckets per sapling, we're going to need 10, 11, 12 and a half saplings per bucket, and we need 36 buckets an hour. So 12, quite a few buckets, quite a few saplings an hour. I don't know if it'll keep up, but of course if that doesn't keep up, if we drain all this down, then it'll just start pulling the next thing in the line, which will be the rubber saplings or the seeds. So there'll always be something that it can pull, I think. So I don't even have to worry about making this more efficient, even though I could. But that's something more advanced. For now, I'm pretty confident that it's going to run that. So once this is full, we can turn that on. To be honest, I could probably turn it on now. Start warming that up. Let's do it. And so it's a bit messy, piping it in the front like this, but it's no big deal. I'm going to need a lever. That I could have a lever out and I put it away for some reason. Get it back again. And we can have that there. So these need the connection, the arrow, to pull out of these valves. whereas that there doesn't, that just auto ejects, so that doesn't need the arrow. So that's why I can fit that next to it. If this didn't need it, if these just auto ejected, it'd be quite nice. We could just have that straight piped across there. We could still have it piped across there. I think it'd just look a bit messier, but well, I don't know. I don't know if it look messier or not. That's not. I want to be going to there, don't it? Not the top. I want to be going to the bottom. What am I doing? Let's just for now. Actually makes that a bit better to go off the side. It's going to waste a bit of liquid this, but let's turn that off. Work out how I want to do this. I messed up there. That actually wants to go to that bottom bit there, so I could connect to a valve there. It looks like it'll connect to this as well, but it won't be. The only problem is if it, with it looking like it connects to this, if this tank ever got empty, then it could just put steam into the line, and fluid won't go back in. That's why I don't like doing it that way. I'm going to leave it like this. I don't want it to connect. So I am going to do it like this. Oops. Like that. And then we can get rid of a couple of these. Get rid of that one. And get rid of that one. In fact, let's do it like that. There we go. That's good. What we ain't got in here, we ain't got no water, so I need to do a liquid tesseract, same as on that one. So I don't think I've got made. I think I've got a tesseract frame made though. So I have on a tuned tesseract even. So make one of these nice and quick. There's one of them pneumatic things, which is nice and easy, like so. And then let's have a quick look at liquid tesseract. And liquid is silver, tin and copper. Of course it is. One copper, 2 tin and 2 silver. Gets our liquid tesseract, and then we want to connect that underneath here somewhere, so we can go right for the middle. That right at the middle. That's good. There we go, and put that into water. Receive only. Excellent. So that's why I like setting up that thing that I showed you last time, that little water thing there, because we can just keep adding more things that pull water from that now, which is pretty cool. We don't have to have water sources everywhere. So that should be getting water in, and it is. And there's water, there's biofuel. That'll start heating up. I'm pretty confident that'll heat up alright. So at the start of the next episode, you shall see how this is going. I think everything's covered for now. Our quarry's still going nicely. We've got plenty of room in these. If we look at that, it's only got 3,000 in. It's only got 900 in. Plenty of room. Everything's going alright. So yeah, I'm going to call it an episode there. As always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you watching my videos. It makes it worthwhile doing. I'd still do them if no one watched, but it's nice that people do, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. And I hope you join me next time. Cheers. Bye.